ফায়ার ব্রিগেড পুলিশ যারা দাঁড়ায়
You were never given a dream without the power to make it come true. Quote unquote, Richard Bach from the book A Bridge Across Forever. And you know what? And whether you can see or you don't, a dream is a dream. And today so many people's dreams have become fulfilled. For all of you who've just joined us, I will tell you in a bit after the band finishes. And ladies and gentlemen, the torch is here. Can we have a big hand? Carried by Mohammad Asif Iqbal, the IBSA secretary, currently training for a full marathon to take place this coming December. He is the Vice President of the Welfare Society for the Blind, WSB, in Majirhat, Kolkata, the Principal Consultant in the consulting practice of PwC. Can we have a loud, 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 thunderous applause? Mohammad Asif Iqbal and me have something in common. We both belong to the St. Xavier's College, Kolkata alumnus and the Symbiosis Center of Management and Human Resources Development in Pune. The first visually challenged commerce graduate of St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, a genetic condition which causes retinal degeneration. When he was 11 years old, he lost sight by the age of 16. Through his work at WSB, he helps youth with visual disabilities by teaching them soft skills and computer technology uses. Can we have a big hand? Ladies and gentlemen, that was Asif. And he's coming back, of course, onto the stage after he changes, because it has been a rather humid afternoon, evening in Kochi city. I would now like to actually call upon Sunil J. Matthew, who will deliver the welcome address. He is the head of the National Indian Men's Team and, of course, a founder member of IBFF. Can we hear it from my friend Sunil J. Matthew?
Good evening. Can you hear a good evening back? Good evening. Yes, thank you so much, Anjali, for that introduction. And I hope you enjoyed this actual torchbearer ceremony, which was pretty well maintained and conducted here. My name is Sunil J. Matthew. I'm the sporting director and the coach of the Indian national blind football team. We saw the first game with the women's team today, and now we're going to enjoy the first men's game. I'd like to invite the Chief Justice, Honorable Mr. Manikumar. Thank you, Mr. Manikumar, for joining us. A pleasure to have you, sir, here, sir. I'd like to invite all the members on the dais, the Paralympic Committee officials, Mr. Gursharan Singh, Mr. Ashok Bedi, the members from the Indian military, who also come as a part of the Paralympic Committee contingent. We have the member from FACT, the chairman of FACT. Thank you, sir. We have Sri Hybe Eden, the MP and our well-wisher. Thank you so much. And all the distinguished members on the dais. The councillors also here. Thank you so much. Just a word or two on what we are here for. We are here for the opening ceremony for the IBSA Asia Oceania Blind Football Championships. This is the very first time we are having an 10-nation tournament. All the events till date have been either 6 or 8 nation. For the first time, we also have Australia taking part along with Asia. And this becomes an important event because it's a qualifier for the Paris Paralympics 2024 and also the IBSA World Championships Birmingham August 2023. Like you all know, blind football is one of the most popular games in the Paralympics calendar. It's played in nearly 65 countries across the world. It's actually one of the most sold out events before the Paralympics actually starts. So it's a much sought after game. We have stars coming through from different ranks. Asia itself has produced the China team, which has been the silver medalist for a couple of Paralympics. The world champions are also from the Asian subcontinent. So we also have a very strong rooting for blind football in Asia. What I wanted to also mention was why we're doing this as an organization. The Indian Blind Football Federation, when we actually worked as a bid for the championships through our parent body, the Indian Blind Sports Association, which works with the Paralympic Committee of India. Because of the work that we've been doing for the last 8 years, I'm also part of the World Committee for Blind Football. We got this bid and won this bid for India, which was our first step. This happened 2 years ago, but with COVID around, we couldn't conduct this last year, so we decided to do it this year and have the World Championships next year. The championships itself carries, this has been watched in roughly about 65 countries, millions of viewers. We have done an international broadcast team actually showing this across the world. It's been translated in 3 languages. We're showing it in English, Japanese for the Japanese viewers, and also in Hindi for our Hindi viewers. I'd like to also thank all the athletes, the officials, everybody who worked behind the scene. A big round of applause to all of you who are actually making this happen. A big round of applause to all of you. I cannot forget the people who have been working for the ground in itself. So thank you, and I welcome you to this championships. Mr. Asif is joining the stage as he finishes his marathon. Over to you, Anjali, for the rest of the evening. Thank you so much.
আসিফ দাদা, আপনি এখানে এসেছেন, আমার অনেক খুশি হয়েছে। আপনি আর আমি দুইজনই কলকাতায় পড়েছি সেন্ট জেভিয়ার্স কলেজে, আর আপনার সঙ্গে আজকে দেখা হলে আমার অনেক, মানে কি বলবো, গা কাটা হচ্ছে আমার। আর আমার মেয়ে আপনার কলেজ সিম্বায়োসিস পুনেতেও পড়েছে। হাই দাদা।
হাই
অঞ্জলি।
I recognize your voice actually. Thank you. খুব ভালো লাগলো।
খুব দাঁড়াও, আপনি এক সেকেন্ড যাবেন না, একসঙ্গে আমার সঙ্গে কথা বলো। হ্যালো বলো।
খুব ভালো লাগলো তোমার সঙ্গে দেখা করতে।
আর কোচিনে এসে একটা বাঙালি মানুষ আপনার সঙ্গে কথা বলছে, আপনি কি রকম ফিল করছেন বলুন?
হ্যাঁ, অ্যাবসলিউটলি খুব দারুণ। আমি এটা খুব রেয়ার কি একটু বাংলায় কথা বলে যায়, বাট থ্যাঙ্কস টু অঞ্জলি আমি একটু কথা বলতে পারলাম। I feel like being a Kolkata boy now.
We are originally from Kolkata, the boy and the girl from St. Xavier's College.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dada. Thank you, Asif. God bless you. It feels so good to have somebody from home, at home. Yes. And what is even more exciting for me is that he also studied at Symbiosis, Pune, where my daughter studied. I would now like to call upon MP Haibi Eden to deliver the presidential address.
We are very honored to have the Honorable Chief Justice of Kerala, our very own Sri Manikumarji. We have the representatives of the Paralympic Committee, Sri Gurusharan Singh Ji, the CMD of FACT, Sri Kishore Ranguta Ji, our representative from the Trikakara Municipality, Sri M.O. Varghese, distinguished guests on the dais, organizers from various departments, the men behind this tournament, my dear friends Sri Roy and Sri Sunil. There are many distinguished guests on the dais, off the dais, and footballers who have come from across the globe for this Asian Championship. It's a great honor to be a host in Kochi as the local member of Parliament, to have you all here. I have never seen so much of passion involved in organizing a tournament. Even though we don't have too many fancy situations going on here, even though it is a very quiet game happening here today, it has to be a quiet game for the success of the game. For the last few months, Roy and Sunil have been so instrumental in organizing the every minute detailing of this tournament. Even though it happens in a very small area, the countries which are taking part are so important. The clearances of all the many different countries to come to India, the Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of Home Affairs, and many different organizations who have been a part and parcel of this tournament. And I, on behalf of the entire crowd who have been here, all the players who have been here, all the dignitaries on and off the dais, I would like to congratulate Sri Sunil and Roy for their immense effort they have taken, not just to invite the dignitaries, not just to organize this, to make this tournament a very spectacular one of international standards. So it is a lot of hard work and pain behind, and I have not still understood why there is so much of pain, because usually what happens is there should be somebody blind to understand what exactly the challenges they face in our society. But even though Sunil and Roy are not blind, they are so much involved in this tournament, so much of passion involved. Cochin has always been a very good host in many different arenas. Historically, traditionally, we have been inviting so many people. We have been good host in Kochi. And I believe that this tournament is going to make a paradigm shift in the Paralympic system of events which is happening. I wish all the very best for the teams who have been here, the coaches, the supporters, all of them, all the very best. And once again, the immense support that the Paralympic Committee have given, the Sports Department, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs, and many different organizations and the sponsors who have been very instrumental to organize this event. I would also like to thank, it is very rare an occasion to have the Honorable Chief Justice of Kerala on the dais. He is not a person who regularly attends public functions, but he is very especially attending this function because this is a very special game and very special tournament for India and for Kerala and for Kochi. Thank you. All the very best. Jai Hind.
And actually, without sounding religious at all, I think we've all gone to school and we, sung this hymn at one point in our lives. And it's called Amazing Grace. And in that song, there's a line that says, "Was blind, but now I see." And this goes out to everybody who actually sees. But today we see very differently. We're seeing through the eyes of these sports people, these sports champions, the teams that are here, our very own Asif who is here, and will make us understand, really makes us understand how precious life is, whether you see or not, and that everything is possible. I think after this game, I'm going to go back home and I'm never going to say something is difficult for me or something is impossible और इनके तले वेदना उन्ड कि मेरे पेट में दर्द है क्योंकि आज मेरी घरवाली नहीं आई काम करने के लिए or that tomorrow morning there's a traffic jam. So a big hand from all of us here on the dais and in the crowd for the teams and for the people who truly believe that you can do whatever your mind has set out to do if you believe in yourself.
Out of focus.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to call upon the chief guest of our evening, the Honorable Chief Justice of Kerala, Shri Mani Kumar. Sir, if you would please come on stage and declare. Sorry, before that, we will ask all the teams are getting ready, of course, and I would like now to welcome on stage Mr. Gursharan Singh, Secretary General, Paralympic Committee of India, to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Honorable Shri Mani Kumar ji, the Chief Justice of Kerala High Court, Shri Kishore Rongta ji, Asif Iqbal ji, Technical Director Mariano, Mr. Mastoras, the Chairperson of IBSA Football, Shri Haibi Eden, Sunil J. Matthew, Mrs. Ajitha, Mr. Varghese, Shri Ashok Bedi ji, Shri Pushottam, Colonel Gill from Indian Army, Amrik Singh from All India Council of Sports, Mr. Roy, other valuable guests
Governor photo.
Yeah, this is government.
from India and abroad,
Chief Justice.
Oh, okay.
officials, volunteers, and most importantly,
Middle on.
Heavy.
Oh, okay.
the football players from 10 countries who are participating in this first international blind football tournament in India. First of all, I welcome Shri Honorable Chief Guest Shri Mani Kumar ji for sparing his valuable time out of his very busy schedule, and it is definitely going to motivate and inspire the participating teams from 10 countries of Asia and Oceania. I thank International Football Association, Indian Football Association, PCI officials, who all have gone out of their way to making this event happen by getting all the formalities undertaken well in time. I thank International Blind Football Association for allocating this event to be held at Kochi, and hope that the International Federation would extend their all support to India in future for promotion and development of blind football in India. I, on behalf of Paralympic Committee of India, welcome to all the players and extend my best wishes to the participating team for their best performance. I hope that their stay in Kochi would be comfortable and memorable, and you all would insist us to reorganize such tournament again in Kochi and in India. This tournament is very important for the participating team, as the tournament is a qualifying competition for selection for the best teams for the upcoming World Championship in 2023 and Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. As you know, that in Paralympic Games there are 22 games with 549 events. Out of 22 games, blind football is one of the games. I would also like to inform you that the Indian blind football team, presently ranked number 6 in Asia, has already qualified for the upcoming Asian Para Games to be held in China from October 22nd to 28th. PCI's Paralympic Committee of India is excited to field India's men team at Hangzhou, the China Asian Para Games, and wish them for their podium finish for the name and glory of our country. Indian blind football is the first team event wherein India has qualified and would be participating at the Asian Para Games next year, as during the Asian Para Games, last Asian Para Games held at Jakarta 2018 and recently concluded Tokyo Paralympic Games, the Indian participation was devoid of any team event. The only participation of Indian athletes in sports, namely athletics, shooting, swimming, powerlifting, table tennis, badminton, archery, canoeing, chess, taekwondo, cycling, etc. You all be aware that Tokyo Paralympic Games were shown live for the first time in India on Doordarshan and Eurosports, which were viewed by 22 million viewers in India, including Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable President and Prime Minister of India. Honorable Shri Narendra Modi has been praising Indian para-athletes repeatedly in his Mann Ki Baat, also in many of his important speeches. And talks, as you are aware that India in the last concluding Paralympic Games, secured 19 medals, which was an historic performance. And you can imagine the importance of the Paralympic Games that Honorable Prime Minister showed to the Indian team when we came from Tokyo. He invited the Indian team to his residence and he spared 2 hours, 15 minutes talking with all the players individually. At the end, I would sincerely thank Government of India, especially Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs, Sports Authority of India, for supporting us in getting NOC for hosting this tournament for the first time in India. At the background, it is, you cannot imagine the hard work it has gone through. It was not so easy to get the NOC from India, from all these agencies, but for their cooperation and support, we are here hosting this wonderful event. I, on behalf of PCI, wish the organizers for a grand success of this tournament, for which PCI has its full support. Thanking you all. Jai Hind.
And as all of you can see, the teams are slowly lining up just before the inaugural ceremony. Can we have a big hand of applause for our teams here today? Kazakhstan, Japan, Uzbekistan, Korea, Thailand, China, Malaysia, India, Australia. And now, and that more teams are coming slowly. They're coming here. They'll be here shortly. But in the meanwhile, we'd have on stage Kishore Rungta ji, Chairman and Managing Director of FACT, to please say a few words to us this evening.
Our Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of Kerala, Sri Manikuttam Sahab, our Honorable MP, Sri Hebi Adingji, Mr. Elia Mostras, Chairman IBSA World Blind Football, Mr. Guru Saran Singh, Secretary General of the Paralympic Committee of India, Mr. Ashok Bedi, Additional Secretary, other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, football players, ladies and gentlemen, a warm good evening to all of you. First of all, I am thankful to the organizer for inviting me here to witness and participate in such a wonderful match. I am glad to be here for the kickoff function of 2022 IBSA Blind Football Asia Oceania Championship in Kochi, the biggest para-football event organized by the Indian Blind Football Federation. I appreciate that this is a qualifier for the World Championship 2023 at Birmingham and the Paris Paralympic 2024. The important point is that in addition to the 10 men's team, for the first time, 2 women's team, including the Indian women's blind football team, is participating in the tournament. The unique ability of sports to surpass the linguistic, cultural and social barriers makes it a brilliant platform for strategies of inclusion and adaptation. Furthermore, the universal popularity of sports and its physical, social and economic developments benefits make it an ideal instrument for nurturing the inclusion and well-being of persons with disabilities. Events like this will help to overcome the stigma and discrimination related with disability, because it can transform attitude of people and community about persons with disabilities by highlighting their skills. This also reduces the tendency to see the disability instead of the individual capabilities. Persons with disabilities acquires vital social skills, develop independence and become empowered to act as agents of change. Let this tournament help the participant to improve teamwork and cooperation and command respect from others. By organizing such program will certainly develop greater independence for blind person to become physically and mentally stronger. We are very proud to be associated with the event as a partner under our CSR activities. I extend all good wishes to the organizer and to the participating team members. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you for that clap. That sounded really good. Can we hear it once again? No, there's people on the right who are doing it in a particular tune. Can everyone follow that? We'll do that when we finish with the inaugural. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. And now we have Mr. M.O. Verghese, Councillor, Ward number 11 from the Trikakara municipality to say a few words as well. So.
ബഹുമാനായ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട എം പി ശ്രീ IBSA, ബഹുമാനായ കേരള ഹൈക്കോടതി ചീഫ് ജസ്റ്റിസ് എസ് മണികുമാർ സാർ, മറ്റു വേദിയിലുള്ള പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട വിശിഷ്ട വ്യക്തികളെ, സ്നേഹം നിറഞ്ഞ സംഘാടകരെ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഈ കളിയിൽ അണിനിരക്കുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട താരങ്ങളെ, IBSA ബ്ലൈൻഡ് ഫുട്ബോൾ ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ ആരംഭിക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ആദ്യമായി ആരംഭിക്കുന്ന ഈ കളി തൃക്കാക്കര നഗരസഭയിൽ, പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് എൻ്റെ ഡിവിഷനിൽ തന്നെ തുടക്കം കുറിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞാലും എൻ്റെ സംഘാടകരുടെ നന്ദിയും കടപ്പാടും അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. 10 പുരുഷ ടീമുകളും 2 വനിതാ ടീമുകളും അണിനിരക്കുന്ന ഈ കളി വളരെ ചരിത്ര പ്രാധാന്യം നൽകുന്ന ഒന്നായി തന്നെ കാണുന്നു. ഇതിൻ്റെ സംഘാടകർക്ക് എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും നേരുന്നതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഈ കളിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നവർക്കും ഇതിൽ വീക്ഷിക്കുന്നവർക്കും എല്ലാ ആശംസകളും നേർന്നുകൊണ്ട് എൻ്റെ എളിയ വാക്കുകൾ ഉപസരിക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Yes, that's my favorite cheering squad now. And I think I'm so happy about them. I think we will give them a round of applause before the match starts. That's from us to you. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, now our chief guest. What can I say about him? Appointed as the Chief Justice of Kerala in 2019, he practiced in the Madras Court for 22 years, held posts of Senior Central Government Standing Counsel for the Government of India and the Assistant Solicitor General of India, and became a permanent judge in 2009. All I can say is, Ende Kerala is so happy to have you with us, the Honorable Chief Justice of Kerala, Shri Manikumar sir.
Honorable Member of Parliament, Ernakulam, Mr. IBSA, Mr. Gurucharan Singh, Secretary General, Paralympic Committee of India, Mr. Ashok Bedi, Additional Secretary, Government of India, Member of Paralympic Committee and my brother, Mr. Kishore Rangcha, Chairman and Managing Director, FACT, Madam Kishore Rangcha, Mr. Mariano, Technical Director, Colonel Amarpreet Singh Gill, Mrs. Ajitha Thangapan, Municipal Chairperson Trikakara, Mr. Verghese, Councillor Trikakara Municipality, Mr. Roy, Project Director, Indian Blind Football Federation, Mr. Sunil Matthew, Sporting Director, Indian Blind Football Federation, Mr. Mohammed Asif Iqbal, Secretary, Indian Blind Football Federation, Advocate Mr. Kuryakos Verghese, Treasurer of the Indian Blind Football Federation, respected brothers and sisters, my beloved, talented players, the parents, kith and kin, the trainers from across the globe, para-volunteers who are present here from the various colleges. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. This fine evening would be a memorable day in my life. I feel privileged in the midst of a group of nearly 150 players who have come across the globe to take part and prove their mettle in the 2022 International Blind Sports Federation Blind Football Asia Oceanic Championship. I should say that with all humility that I myself was a football player in my college. Thank you. Football is world's most popular sport that requires speed, strength, swiftness and skill. It's a tough game even for the people who are athletic and able-bodied. Now imagine this sport is being played by the differently abled. Today, I may be physically abled. I state that someday I may not be fully abled. I sincerely wish my countrymen to perceive and realize that the so-called have-nots have not only inspired us but given us confidence and motivation. When the energetic organizers, Mr. Roy and Mr. Sunil Matthew, Project Director and Sporting Director of the Indian Blind Football Federation, explained to me as to how the match is played by closely following the sound of the ball, I realized how the world opens in front of us. I view this tournament a great achievement nurtured by all involved. I wish all the teams the best of their outputs to achieve what you have worked for. Every team cannot be a champion of this tournament, but from the bottom of my heart, I state to all the players who are present here, you have already won the hearts of many of us here. And all the participants, I would say that you are the champions of friendship and brotherhood. According to me, every participant in this tournament is a winner. There is no loser. Winning or losing in sports is not all that important, because I myself had played many matches. But the happiness originating from the participation in a sport of this kind is highly cherished and is memorable in everyone's life. I take this opportunity to appreciate the Indian Blind Football Federation for this great initiative, especially developing a national team both for men and women, with the women's team making their debut in an international match. I also sincerely appreciate the parent NGO Society for Rehabilitation of the Visually Challenged, in short SRVC, for all their efforts to enable, to empower, to encourage the differently abled to come out of the homes and to upskill themselves to take up the mainstream jobs as well as sports. Tournaments of this kind, I'm sure, will be a moral booster, if I may say so, not for the differently abled to spread their wings further, aiming higher skies, but for us, we learn from you. I am of the view that the players of this tournament are the role models in the learning of our life. I appreciate the efforts taken by one and all, in particular Mr. Gurucharan Singh, Secretary General, Paralympic Committee of India, Mr. Ashok Bedi, Additional Secretary, Government of India, Mr. Roy, Project Director, and Mr. Sunil Matthew, Sporting Director of the Indian Blind Football Federation. I also express my sincere thanks to the organizers, the promoters of this tournament, for giving me this opportunity. This event, I'm sure, will be a turning point in India's sporting history and will be fondly remembered by all the sports-loving persons in the country. Before I conclude, I wish to quote the words of famous American civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. I quote, "If you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward, and that is what the players assembled here." With these words, I am immensely happy to inaugurate this prestigious event and to declare 2022 IBSA Blind Football Asia Oceania Champion India Open. Thank you all. I'm happy to present this to my friend and the technical director. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.
And the Honorable Chief Minister has just declared the games open. And also it's very clear now, sir, that the ball is in their court. I would now like to call upon Advocate Kuriakos Verghese, Treasurer, Indian Blind Football Federation, to please deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Anjali. I propose to give the vote of thanks. But before starting with the vote of thanks, I thought, instead of going by a series of names, I thought it's my duty at this stage to first and foremost welcome our chief guest, who is also the Chief Justice of the Kerala High Court, my Lord's Justice Manikumar. I take this opportunity to first welcome him for not only giving a very powerful speech. I think his conclusion just now, where he quoted Martin Luther King, I think there could not have been a more appropriate quote. The quotation basically goes to the root, I think, essentially of what the sport is entirely about. I think he quoted very elegantly that, you know, if you really cannot run, if you cannot walk, then you have to crawl. If you cannot walk, then you have to run. Or if you cannot run, you have to walk. I'm sorry. But the power of the quote at the end of the day, I was just sitting here, and this is something which I've been seeing in the spirit of each one of the players here. All of you have traveled extensively across continents to be here in this city. And I am so happy that the Honorable Chief Justice of Kerala, who is somebody whom we rarely see in public functions. I've seen him in functions of the bar and the fraternity, but not in other public functions. I think it speaks about a man with a level of empathy. And when he spoke today, I think what he spoke about essentially is the function of social transformation. And I'm thankful to the Chief Justice because he has actually rendered a few judgments, including the landmark judgment on the rights of transgender. And some of the other leading judgments are very well known to be elaborated in this forum. So first and foremost, sir, a big thank you for having graced this occasion and for your very powerful, moving speech. My second responsibility would be to our young and dynamic Member of Parliament, the Honourable Mr. IB Eden. IB for all of us is not merely a Member of Parliament. IB is also a friend to the younger generation, a friend to the older generation, and more than anything else, somebody who's available. And like Roy was just telling me just before I was about to speak, the function which IB has done in the background essentially to ensure that all these teams are here. Now when we sit here and examine, you have countries like China, Kazakhstan, Iran, Japan, the kind of work which had to be done in the background as far as the MEA was concerned, the Ministry of Home Affairs is concerned, the coordination done by IB. I think we are grateful, IB, for your excellent background work, and we are thankful that we have a powerful MP from this city who's a very effective voice in the Parliament for all of us. Thank you for your interventions, IB. We are honored to have you in our midst. I would now I would now go across to Mr. Gurshan Singh, again a figure in this field who is highly recognized as the Secretary General of the Paralympic Committee. He has been instrumental again in coordinating, helping out, assisting wherever help is required, stepping in and ensuring that the function today that we see is a big success. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Gurshanji. My responsibility now comes to Ashok Bedi ji. I have had the privilege of meeting him, and as the Additional Secretary of the Government of India, the role of the Government of India in ensuring that the function happens in a very coordinated manner is thanks to a lot of all of gentlemen working here. Thank you so much, Ashok Bedi ji. I now come to Mr. Rungta sir, the Chairman and Managing Director of FACT. FACT and the Chairman, I'm sure, needs no introduction. One of the oldest public sector undertakings in the country, goes back to just after independence. It's one of the most well-known PSUs, a very famous PSU. You'll find their alumni across the world. In any fertilizer industry across the world, the brand FACT travels. Very well-known brand. Thank you for your involvement with our function, sir. And ma'am, welcome to you as well. Very kind of you to also come. I take the opportunity to now thank Mr. M.O. Verghese, the councillor where we stand. We have with us the youngsters at the back, that is the Indian Army contingent, so to speak. We have here, with us, Colonel Gill from the Mission Olympics Wing, Colonel Amrik Singh, who is here. Thank you, sir, for being here, and the young advocate, Mr. Bedi, as well, from the Delhi High Court. So I wish to thank all of you on the dais. Now the responsibility comes to people who are not on the dais. I'll start with my dear friend Roy, a man who needs no introduction. Now between Roy and Sunil, I think the duo who has been instrumental in bringing to our hometown of Kochi a tournament which normally requires tremendous background work and coordination has been done. And between Sunil and Roy, I think we have brought the entire world to this small little microcosm where we have all of us sitting here. And we have all the players today who are here thanks to the tremendous effort which goes back to almost 20 years of hard work from SRBC as well as IBFF for the visually challenged. And I think it's a beautiful occasion, a very beautiful occasion, the way the Chief Justice had opened the beginning. He said it's a beautiful, very beautiful occasion. And I think at the end of the day, this also goes back to the people who have been working in the background, numerous names which I don't want to take, numerous sponsors who have kindly opened not only their heart, but also their purses. So you have the accounts and their hearts opening up simultaneously, which you will see in the background. But the beauty of these sponsors again is none of them wanted their name to be highlighted in any manner. I think that is the beauty of this function. The kind of people it has attracted has been fantastic. I now come across to the production crew in the background, the technical people who have traveled with the teams, the camera persons here, the members of the press, the members of the Kerala Police Department and other departments who have been very kind enough to assist in all manner. And I would also like to thank on this occasion the players themselves, in the sense that I think there's a destiny that today all of us are sitting in this place and all of you are also here from different corners of the world. I really don't think that these kind of things happen unless there is some kind of, destiny at play. And my dear MC had, spoken about amazing grace. I don't think, I think that those two words define today's function. There is tremendous grace and there is amazing grace at this stage, not only on the dais, but everybody outside. The hope, the vision and the dream of these youngsters today, the self-dignity and the self-esteem that they've been able to get to stand up with their back straight. I think that goes a long way, because dignity and self-esteem is fundamental to any man. And that is what we see here today. And I would like to thank everybody on the dais, the youngsters who have been volunteering, and my dear friends Roy and Sunil. I'm taking a special mention to shout out for Sunil and Roy for having been there day in and day out slogging outside the spotlight. Thank you all so much, and once again thank you to the Chief Justice, my lords, for having been here on this occasion. Thank you to all dignitaries on the dais. Thank you so much. And one person I have to thank is again, I have to thank Anjali for such beautiful, the way she breathes life into her sentences and brings the whole thing to life in spirit. Thank you, Anjali, for being a beautiful MC. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here. 2004 Maharaja's College grounds, there was a small match. There was music for the heart. My mother performed there, and it was a dream which Sunil and Roy saw many, many years ago, and it has been fulfilled today, and I can't thank God enough. Sunil is the kind of person you ask him for something and he'll send it to you the next day, so he has got the art of giving. And Roy today also celebrates his 11th or 13th kidney anniversary. He donated his kidney to save a human being. That is why people are who they are. The 11th of November, 11/11, about grace, about giving, about saving, and about cheering. So any of you who are not an organ donor, please become one today during your time on earth or even after. There won't be so many blind and there won't be so many people who have problems in their lives. God bless you all and keep you safe wherever you are. And now I'd like to call upon Mr. Gurcharan Singh, Secretary General PCI, to hand over some mementos and token of love to the Honorable Chief Justice of Kerala. And then to Mr. Hybe Eden.
Come,
Now handing over to Mr. Hybe Eden, our Honourable MP. And I would now like to call upon Ashok Bedi to give over the award to Mr. Rungta, the CMD of FACT. Yeah. And Colonel Amrik to give handover to Mr. M.O. Verghese and of course Asif Iqbal. Thank you everybody for being fabulous, and now you have to be an even better audience. Yes, of course. And now the Honorable Chief Justice hands over the memento to Asif. Okay.
Hello.
And now we need to start the games. We need to hand over the field. Can we all clap and wish the teams best of luck? India versus Kazakhstan, ladies and gentlemen.
Mariano, over to you. The ground is all yours. 5:28. I kept my time. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
When the teams are there.
अरे कासे देखी भूले गए एक ही बार हो বলেছিলাম আমি বাঙালি বাংলা কথা শুনে বাঙালি আমি এনার বউ তো মনে হয় ওটা বলেছিলাম মালটা বাংলা বলছি আর প্রথম মিটিংয়েই ধরা পড়ে গেছে